Welcome back to another exciting episode of Spitball Media Podcast. We're spitting out the top media stories of the week. We're just hanging out, spitting them out, chewing them out, talking them out. My name is John Draper. Joining me on the weekly voyage of the entertainment world is none other than the Prince of Philadelphia himself, Mr. Shaheen. Shaheen, are you holding it down in the city of brotherly love?
I'm holding it together. I just had 3 slices of pizza though, so I'm hoping I hold myself together because,
hold it in.
I'm gonna have to.
He's holding it in, and of course, the timeless classic beauty, the handsomest man in Ohio, the king of Burleytown, Mr. Bish O'Brien. Bish O'Brien, you ageless wonder. How are you?
Ageless wonder. That's interesting. I don't feel so ageless today. Like Shah just smashed some food, but instead of some glorious Philadelphia style pizza, it was like 2-hour-old homemade taco with ground beef. So by the time I ate it, the beef tasted and kind of felt like, the pebbles at the bottom of the fish tank.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like chewing that down, man. So,
Never tasted one of those, man.
No. And I've been pretty messed up, and I've still never tasted any of it.
Never. I've chewed on glass before. Never chewed on pebbles from the bottom of the fish tank.
No, I can't. No, I've never done that. I've never eaten the bottom of the fish tank.
One day.
If you're joining us for the first time, we are not on drugs. Thank you for checking us out. But if you really want to get a full dose of what we do around here, you really need to go to patreon.com/Spitball Media. That's where you're going to find hundreds of hours of exclusive content going all the way back to the not so innocent days of 2021. Shah, there's just so much there to choose from if you go today for $5.
Yeah, definitely hundreds of not over 1,000 hours by now of extra shows and everything. But definitely thousands of hours of the show included also, because we have a lot of episodes now.
Yeah.
What do you think we're at now? Probably like 130,
Yeah, it's like one something, right?
Probably even more. I don't know where we're at.
Yeah, like how many shows we have? We have a lot of shows.
I thought Drew Yari said we passed 300 regular shows like 3 months ago.
Oh my God!
Did we really? What the?
How is that possible?
No, man.
Jesus. No way.
There's no way that's accurate. What the?
Yeah,
fuck?
Yari was like, "Oh, congratulations on episode 300," and I'm like, "Huh?
300?
No.
How long have I been alive for? I should be dead by now.
Stop.
That's too much.
There's no
but Bisho, it's still the most exclusive bargain in the industry.
Yeah, everything is going up, man. The dollar large Coke at McDonald's is $1.25 now. Every streaming app is going up in price. Something I just bought for $5 last month is like $7.50 now. So go to patreon.com/break. Ooh, I almost did it. Spitball Media. And don't go to Break the App. It doesn't exist anymore. And go check it out.
Yeah, go check it out. I mean, like my Starbucks is now $8.15. So I'm gonna have to do, and I only get one a week, and it used to be $5.76 or something like that, like a couple of years ago. Yeah, shop. My drink is $8.15.
Yeah, dude. There's no way we're at 300 episodes. We
John's
just
still stuck on this 300.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this. There's no way. No, we're at like 150. It's like
maybe it was 100, and I'm just really dumb.
Maybe it was 100, and Brian is very tired.
Yeah, we're around 150 because we started in September of 2020. It's been 3 years.
It's been 3 years. So we're gonna start calling you T Show Brian because you're tired.
Oh my God.
That's
so we're at like 150 or 160 episodes.
Well, anyway, there's a lot of stuff there, and it's only $5.
Okay.
And shout out, of course, to our friends hanging out. Of course, Joe Punches, Marquise John, Clerics of Chaos, Chris Matthews, the Bayou Geeks, Mad Max is chilling. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we appreciate it. And of course, please consider, if you haven't already. Oh, Marquise Johns, what's up, my friend? Go to patreon.com/break the app. $5. That's all we're saying. Is just $5. Yes, I am growing a beard, Chris. Thank you for mentioning it. I'm growing a beard. I'm going to bring it over to my in-laws next week. I'm going to bring a little gray beard, but I always fuck it up a couple weeks in, and then I got to start all over again. I'm looking like a svelte Rob Reiner, right, Bisho? Like a svelte Rob Reiner.
I almost didn't believe you as you were saying it, but then I don't know what it was.
So true.
Hit me. Yeah,
it's so true. I don't know if he wears reflective Prada glasses, but I think
your social media presence is better than his.
My social media presence is actually more tolerable. Shah, next year I decided what I'm going to do is I'm not going to shave my head for a long time, and I'm going to try to get the Larry David, whatever they call that shit.
You have
Like
to.
it's like Captain Crunch.
That would be
And
lovely.
then I'm just gonna get different glasses. And I already have like the outfit picked out, like the classic Curb outfit, because Curb will be back next year, I think, in the summertime.
Oh man, I'm gonna be so excited, dude! I can't wait till I'm like 60 years old and I have like a pot belly, so I can be like the Iron Sheik one time and it actually look legitimate. Because I could grow the mustache out, trim the beard down, just leave the mustache, handlebar mustache. But I need I need the
next year we're all doing costumes.
I need more sloppiness,
Next year, everybody's doing costumes. B-Show, you could be whatever country singer's popular that year.
Oh my God, there's something.
Well, you could go as Jelly Roll. We could put
Jelly
you
Roll.
as,
Is that? I was gonna say, is that the guy with face tattoos? Is
yeah,
really
we'll just
annoying
put fake face tattoos on you.
Dude.
But B-Show, like for you, if you do, I don't know, he probably has words like strength or Jesus on it. You could just put, since he's fat, just put like food on there, like cake.
No, there's definitely a freedom face tattoo somewhere on there.
You think he's got? No, he's not. He's not right wing at all. That dude. He's just
just freedom, period.
Freedom to eat.
Very country.
That would be it. Yeah. Loggers 109. What's up, my friend? Shout out to Loggers 109.
By the way, this is episode 167. I counted.
Shah was not letting this go.
I was not letting it go. I had to figure, dude. I was going to drive me nuts. 167.
Shah was like, "How long have I doing this fucking show?"
I was going to say 300. I was like, "What the fuck, dude? There's no way."
I think I think it was 100. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
But actually, I want to give a special shout out real quick. Necromaniacs, I think, is having an anniversary today. I think I don't know how. I think my brother may have said it's 10 years. Is that possible? I don't know. We'll shout them out later. Yeah, they're having their anniversary show. So a little program note. Next week we will be doing a show. We won't be doing a live show, but we'll get a show out to you guys next week. And I think B-Show, you're going to be getting that solo show out for everybody, huh?
Yes, I've not had a chance to record yet, but I'm either going to do it tonight or tomorrow. So coming your way. If you have any suggestions, just go to Patreon. I might put up a post. Just say, is there anything specifically you guys want to hear my take on? If not, I'm just going to fucking roll with it. So
yeah. Maybe they want to know what it's like to be so burly, like a day in like a burly journey. My burly journey. That's going to be your book.
Started out tromping through the woods with Timberland boots and heavy flannel.
Exactly.
Not that.
But yes, so we will have a show it'll be available to you guys next week, but it just won't be live. Maybe we'll do it early in the week. We'll talk about it over the weekend, and we'll get a bonus show out as well. But we won't have a post show because we'll all be doing Thanksgiving things. So I'm excited to get some time off next week. I'll be in the Poconos, having a wonderful time with my family. My kids are coming in from college, but it is the weekend before Thanksgiving. And I just want to kick this off because I'm really excited about this. So many, many years ago, there was a fake trailer in between a Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez Grindhouse double feature. Of course, what am I talking about? I'm talking about Planet Terror. And what was the second movie called? The Planet Terror was the Rodriguez. Death Proof. Death Proof. Oh, look at the dog. So cute. Look at that cute dog. Oh, you're killing me. Look at that. Look at that meatball.
What's more distracting to you, a cute dog or a cute woman?
Cute dog.
Yeah, definitely the dog, man.
Cute dog. I could trust the dog more. I would trust a dog with rabies more than I would trust an attractive woman. I would trust a Rottweiler with rabies and knives sticking out of its face than I would an attractive person I don't know. But many, many years ago, there was this double feature. I think we've all seen the movies. Hopefully you guys have seen them. They're fantastic. I went with a big crew and saw it with Jeff, the owner of Lucky 13s, my brother Mike. We took a day off. I think we saw it on like Good Friday, actually, if I'm not mistaken. And we saw this double feature. And one of my favorite things about that double feature, I loved both movies, was the fake movies, guys, in between. We had a series of fake movies. One of those fake trailers was Machete, which became a series of real films with Danny Trejo, which are pretty fun. The first one's fun. After that, the joke isn't funny. The other one was a Rob Zombie, maybe the best thing Rob Zombie's ever done since, this had to come after 10,000 Maniacs. What's the only good Rob Zombie movie? I'm drawing a blank.
Devil's Rejects.
Devil's Rejects. So post Devil's I don't know what year this Grindhouse movie was, but I don't think the Halloween might have happened already. You think B-Show, the reboots? It's probably 2008.
No, I think this was before Halloween.
When was Death Proof? When was well just Grindhouse?
Oh wow.
That was. It's got to be. I want to say 2008. Anybody in the chat know?
Yeah, 07, 08 probably.
07, 08? What do you say?
Yeah, because it was around the same time that comic movie came out that he did. Or somewhat. It looks like it.
What,
2007.
2007. Okay. So I don't know when the Halloween reboot came out. Do you guys know? The zombie had to be possibly around that time. But anyway, one of the other trailers in there was Rob Zombie's She-Wolf. What was it? She-Wolves of the what was it? She-Wolves of
The SS, I think. Yeah.
What was it like werewolves of the SS? It was really good. The trailer's great.
Dude, I would love to see that.
Yeah, he should do that movie, honestly. But it wasn't She-Wolves of that because that's a real movie.
Those like Nazi exploitation movies were huge in the 70s, man.
They were very
times.
Yeah, I wish we would know the name of that Rob Zombie fake trailer.
I think that's what it was.
Women.
Werewolf Women of the SS.
Yeah.
Dude, it looked amazing.
That's infinitely less impressive now that I know there was an actual movie called like Wolf Women of the SS or something.
You're unfamiliar with the Nazi sexploitation movies of the 60s and 70s, like the 70s?
Yeah,
they're real.
I am. What do they call it?
Isla.
I was gonna say uncircumcised.
There was 3 of them. They're actually they're putting those out on 4K in like 2 months.
Are they really?
Can you imagine that? What a time to be alive! Where fucking
She-Wolf of the
SS, all 3 are getting 4K restoration, like
director's cut.
Dude, in like crystal clear 4K for you to enjoy on a
those movies are insane. They're fun movies though. They're actually like very dumb and like they I don't know. They're not offensive. I guess they're so stupid, right, Shah? Like you can't get offended.
Yeah, I mean they're dissing Nazis the whole time. It's just
of course. They're not glorifying
like a pro-Nazi movie.
Yeah,
they were mostly like sexploitation movies, and there was a lot of women on women, like fetishes and dungeons and tying people up, and it's just 70s weird sex cults
hanging out. Yeah. But anyway, one of these trailers was an Eli Roth trailer called Thanksgiving, and it was amazing. It was shot while he was shooting Hostel. I think the second Hostel, actually, at that point in time. I think it was shot in like Budapest or something, but it was supposed to be like an 80s slasher movie, and it went over like gangbusters. Shah, you a big fan of the Grindhouse double feature? I'm a big fan.
Huge fan, man. I saw those at the movie theater, and it was probably one of my best movie theater experiences of all time.
Was there a break?
I never experienced.
I don't think there was a break in between the movies. Do you think so?
There wasn't. No, it was straight through. For me, it was though. At least anyway. Yeah. We went to like an artsy ass theater too in Philly.
Oh, sure. I'm sure it was so fun. Bisho, did you experience those in a theater?
No. I really wanted to, and then I think the person I was going to go with was like, "Oh, it's 2 movies at the same time. It's too long." So I had to wait till much later and watch it on home video.
Now, before we get to the Eli Roth real Thanksgiving, just if I had to pick your brain, of the 2 movies, which movie do you? I know they're very different movies. Shah, which movie do you like better, Planet Terror or Death Proof?
Fuck, that's a rough one.
They're not even remotely similar. I know that.
Yeah,
but they're in the same movie.
I mean, Planet Terror is more of my vibe, but overall, I think a better movie was Death Proof. I'd probably say Death Proof, but Planet Terror was just
I love
it was a throwback. You had these it was a throwback to what double feature movies were back in the day that I never got to experience. So for me, it was super cool because I felt like I was living like through the the 80s and the 70s.
Like Times Square.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What was it 54th Street? Is that what it was? 54th Street?
45th Street. 45th. I think it was 45th.
It was 54th.
42nd Street. Really, I think it was the 42nd Street.
42nd?
Yeah, I'm not so
sure. It was a
It's
documentary.
before my time. It's a little before my time. Bisho, better film, Planet Terror or Death Proof?
I enjoyed Planet Terror more. I like it more. Death Proof was probably more, I don't know, probably better if you would judge it with a critical eye.
Yeah.
It's just more tight, more concise. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy Planet Terror a lot because it's just it's just weird. Like it's grainy, like it's got the little jumps in it. I know that's by design, but also like, there's people in there doing wacky shit, like doing weird fucking shit, and what's her face could not have been more attractive at that point in time. Obviously,
Rose McGowan.
Rose McGowan, The less we talk about that, the better. But also, both movies just like very like there's a sex appeal to those movies, don't you think, Shah? Like honestly, like there's no nudity in those movies, but they're very like kind of dirty in a lot of ways.
Yeah. No, they knew what they were doing. I mean, with Death Proof, what was? I remember the bar scene, the whole bar setting. It was
Oh
just
my
sweaty women
God,
and
that bar scene.
alcohol. Like,
with the lap dance.
yeah, and of course, since it's Quentin Tarantino, he popped in a few feet shots and all that. Like, he knew.
Oh, Sidney Poitier, not the actor, his daughter, Sydney, spelled differently. Poitier. Good. That's Jungle Julia, B show. Rest in peace.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Sidney Poitier. That's his daughter.
Oh, she's great, man.
She is not unattractive, as I like to say. But there's a lot of good-looking people in it. It's Kurt Russell. I mean, obviously Chris Matthews said this. Kurt Russell is just on a whole other level in that movie as stuntman Mike, right? Like he just crossed it out. Joe punches Kurt Russell, right? Shot like Kurt Russell. That's maybe one of the better performances of the 21st century. Just insane.
Yeah. What happened to Kurt Russell? Is he still making
Well,
movies?
we're gonna get to him later because he's the star of the Godzilla show on
Really?
on Apple. Yeah.
What's the last movie you recall of him doing? I don't remember. Like
Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
I feel like he did something recently.
He's
He
done
was
a
in
bunch.
guys. He was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Small role, but
Yeah.
playing a stuntman coordinator. So
And he was
major roles. Like, was Death Proof the last like memorable one? I can't remember anything.
he's like
else.
70 years old, Shah.
I know. I mean,
He looks amazing.
Guardians 2.
trust me.
He was the Celestial. He was like
Look, that was Guardians 2. He was the Celestial. He was what's his Chris Pratt's dad. He does some stuff, Shah. I mean, he doesn't have to work. Like
he just did Santa Claus. He was Santa Claus in a couple Netflix kids Christmas
yes,
movies.
he did
He's fucking
Santa
great.
Claus. Yeah. He's Kurt
I mean,
Russell.
Tom Cruise is like 60, isn't he?
Yeah, but Kurt Russell's like 70 something years old, dude. He's maybe mid 70s.
Dude, Tom Cruise at 70 is going to be crazy. This guy's
I know. We're not going to notice because he's going to look like he looks now.
Scientology, man. Join it while you can, I guess. I don't know, man. That shit keeps you.
Yeah. Oh, Hateful Eight, Shah. He was amazing in Hateful Eight. Kurt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, that movie's understated. Jesus.
A lot of talking in the movie, though.
Well, it's Tarantino.
Yeah,
But-
lots
but
of talking.
But Eli Roth was invited by Tarantino to make a mini fake movie. This is many, many moons ago. And out of nowhere, we now have a full-length feature movie opening this weekend. The prequel of Thanksgiving week. And the reviews are in. I think it's at 90% right now currently at Rotten Tomatoes. Shah, your thoughts on this being a feature film? Obviously, we don't know much about it. It just came out. Were you shocked? Is this a good idea? Bad? 87%. Outrageous. What are you thinking here, Shah?
Well, I'm not shocked that the movie was made because we've talked about it for quite some time. I'm shocked that it's at 87%. That's what's shocking to me because Eli Roth, like, he's not terrible, but I mean, he's not like a god of horror like people make him out to be, really.
No, he's not.
I mean, he's done what? He's done the Hostel movie.
Well, he did. Well, let's back up the train here a little bit. His first movie was Cabin Fever, which the first Cabin Fever, which I like. I think Cabin Fever was
great movie,
good.
One of his best.
I think it's a very good movie. I liked it when I saw it. I thought it was very original. And that, of course, was his jump point to make Hostel and Hostel 2. I'm a fan of Hostel. I like those movies quite a bit. He also made Green Inferno, which was sort of his tribute to
Cannibal Holocaust.
Cannibal
I actually like
Holocaust.
that a lot, man. That movie gets a lot of hate.
A lot of hate.
Like,
He's a polarizing guy. When you say B-show, like he's one of these guys that you don't hear a lot about. He's kind of the face of horror and maybe in an undeserved way. You think that's unfair?
Oh, that's spot on. Like he was hosting like Eli Roth's History of Horror.
That's right. He's the
And-
go-to guy.
Like he got invited. They used to do this thing where the Masters of Horror for like HBO series came out of it, but like they used to get
Showtime.
Showtime, but like they get Romero and Carpenter and
Yeah.
all these guys together who'd made these great movies and considered masters of horror. And then he started showing up. And I think even John Carpenter in an interview threw shade on that. But it's like he's made some okay stuff, but he's not like Wes Craven or I'm blanking, but Clive Barker. Like these dudes who had these just great track records of great movies did a couple cool things. And he's like, hey, I'm the host. He looks like a game show host. And so, like, to me, he became the face of horror movies for a while. And
Well,
it's
let's
kinda
also
gross.
throw him as props because he also is an Inglorious Bastard. He's Donnie Donowitz,
Yeah, the
and
bear.
he bats a man out to death. He literally bats a Nazi's brains in a
He
feature
just seems
film.
like a poser. Like he doesn't, you know what I mean? Like he looks like a poser. He looks like the guy that just like discovered like, and I know he's not because he knows
not
his
a poser,
history.
no.
Like he's not. He's legitimately like a huge horror fan. I get that.
Oh yeah, he's legit. He's
But
legit.
yo, he actually did another one that's good. He did Clown.
Yes, I liked Clown.
Was
He's
good.
Clown is him. He directed that.
Yeah, he did Clown.
Are
yeah,
you
I think
sure?
so. I'm
Are we
90%
sure he
Clown
directed
was
that?
him. Clown was him. Yeah.
Wow, Bisho, have you seen Clown?
Yeah, is that the one where the dude finds the wig and stuff and puts it on and it starts to?
Yeah, it's
okay.
heavy. It's like it's
Yeah, that's
not
pretty
heavy, but
good.
it like gets a little dark.
Also, Drag Me to Hell. I know that one gets a lot of love. I hated that movie.
That's Wes Craven.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's
Wes
Eli
Craven
Roth.
No, Sam Raimi did Drag Me to Hell.
I thought it was Eli Roth. I'm pretty sure it's
No,
Eli Roth.
that's Sam Raimi. I'm pretty sure that's Sam Raimi.
Eli Roth did something on that.
Well, let's pull
Sam
him up.
Raimi.
Yeah. Let's end the mystery. Can we just pull up his repertoire? Because he might have a banger in there that we're like,
Did he
oh
produce that?
fuck.
He needs to do something on there.
Like I said off the air, I said he's a less special needs Rob Zombie in a lot of ways. like he's like Rob Zombie if he went to college. Like, you know, in that regard. Now he's also friends with some heavy hitters, the Tarantinos, the Robert Rodriguez's. Let's see what he's got here. Now, but guys, some of this is going to be possibly Knock Knock. I did not. Knock Knock is supposed to be good. His girl is in that. Knock Knock is with Keanu Reeves. Death Wish. Didn't like the Death Wish reboot.
I didn't know
like
it was a
it.
remake.
Yeah, didn't like it. Haunt. He didn't do Clown. Oh, he did Haunt.
He must have produced that. I don't think he directed.
Yeah, so, yeah. See, they bleed all these in, so it's like Piranha. He didn't direct Piranha 3D. I don't think. I think they bleed these in. B-show. Wikipedia would clear this up. Yeah, look, there's no way he didn't do all these movies.
Maybe he produced some of them. I don't know.
Well, Thanksgiving B-show. What are we thinking? Are we thinking this could be a legit hit for him? Could this be like almost like a comeback for him?
Maybe. I think it looks like a more straightforward slasher movie than what I've seen from him in the past, and I think most people can digest that easily. It's got the tie-in with Thanksgiving, which is cool, and it looks like the Pilgrim thing. Isn't it in Massachusetts or something like that?
I honestly don't know. I don't know a lot about the film. Chris Matthews is saying Knock Knock is very good. Chris Matthews is also saying he's better than Rob Zombie. Yeah, I would say he's definitely Chris. He's got a far better repertoire, but he's one of these dudes who gets credit for the horror genre without. I don't want to say not contributing, but I don't know that his contributions are on the level of what he gets credit for. You know what I'm saying, Shah? Like he became kind of like the face of horror, like for the public sphere, like AMC and all these other things.
He was Andrew Blumhouse before Blumhouse. You know,
his movies are hard R though. He doesn't.
I know, but he reminds me of that like kind of mainstream horror. You know, he just reminds me of a mainstream guy. You know.
Yeah.
That's why I see kind of, and it might just be his looks. I don't know, because he looks like a regular guy. Maybe that's why.
He doesn't look like a genre guy. I mean,
yeah.
I was going to say, do you think he's too attractive? Because like Romero was a big guy, but he was kind of schlubby looking, and Carpenter had the long hippie hair.
Motif.
Yeah.
I mean, they all are. They're all kind of.
Wes Craven looked like a professor, but he also made some.
Yeah, like John Carpenter, movies. Like these guys. Yeah, Toby Hooper.
Cronenberg was like a legit, like fucking. He was like a genius.
Like Cronenberg looked like he shouldn't be allowed near a school.
I think
he looks like a
Cronenberg,
Cronenberg. You know what I mean? Like from Rick and Morty, the Cronenberg fucking monsters. Cronenberg looked like his own creation.
What did you say, Shah? I didn't hear what you said.
Cronenberg, wasn't he a professor?
I think he might have been a teacher. I'm not sure. But you know, Joe Punches brings up Eli Roth is a horror historian, so I think that's why he's always. Like it bugged me. Like after a while, I'm like fucking Eli Roth has got Eli Roth, ghost stories. Eli Roth, slasher countdown to Halloween. Eli Roth, the best candy. Like he was just in everything. I mean, it was good. Look, don't get me wrong. The guy's got a good career. I'm rooting for this movie to be good. I'm going to see it Saturday. I very much am excited to see it because I'm trying to think of like outside of Terrifier. The last time I went and saw a standalone slasher film in a theater, B-show. Like Scream is a genre, is a legacy at this point.
It's a
I can't count
franchise
that.
movie,
It's a
yeah.
franchise, right? A standalone thrasher, a slasher throwback type movie. And I know it's not a throw. I know it's not taking place in the 80s, unfortunately, like we were hoping, but probably too expensive. Can't think of one.
I can't either. I mean, I'm at a loss. But no, it looks like from what I saw, I think it takes place in Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Oh, that's the best.
And the killer looks like a Puritan with like some kind of mask.
I know.
Yeah.
I think that's his name. Shah, what do you think? You think you would check this out in the theater? It looks like it'd be a fun thing to see.
Yeah, definitely. I actually think it's gonna do really well. I'm gonna
too.
predict that it's gonna fucking kill it. It's probably gonna be one of the bigger horror movies of the year. And the only reason I say that is because a lot of people's families are coming in. I can see families just like everybody's around going to the movie theater. This has a Thanksgiving theme.
Yeah.
Kind of genius to not put it out during Halloween, because now there's really no new horror movies that are in the theater.
No, this will be it. There'll be no. I don't think there's any horror films coming out for the rest of the year.
I think it'll do well.
Yeah. Yeah, I predict it'll do well. I would be crazy if it wins the box office. I don't know. I don't know how many people plan on going to see it, but I'm going to check it out. We'll talk a little bit about it next week, and I'm excited for it. I hope it does well. I'm rooting for Eli Roth. I mean, he seems like he seems like an everyday dude who just kind of stepped in shit in horror. But guys, he's been around for maybe 20 years. What do you think? Like, Shah, you think was Cabin Fever 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh,
had to be right.
Yeah,
that was like right when I was graduating high school. Yeah,
I think it's like 2003 or 2 B show, right? You've seen the old Cabin Fever, right?
Yeah, that sounds right. 2002, 2003. And I know I said what I said about him, but let's also remember the paradigm shift in horror movies after 9/11. I mean, when Hostel came out, it was like right after the teen horror craze, when teen movies
I know what
were
you
all
did
the
last
rage.
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so right after 9/11, he took a look, he read the room and was like, well, no, we have to do something really egregious and really terrible because everything is so amped up and raw. So as much as I can say about him and his Hollywood appeal, he really was a part of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
now, let me ask you guys a question, then we'll move on. I'm sorry, Shah, what were you going to say?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, do you think Hostel? They made 2, right? They only made 2, didn't they? Didn't make 3.
Oh, there's a third one. Yeah,
there's 3. Okay, where would you put? Because I don't like to count 2 as franchise. It's a franchise. Where would you put Hostel? They're all this 21st century R-rated horror movies. Where would you put that franchise in their history there? Where would you put that as far as competitively? Do you think it holds up? Do you think it's overrated? Should they not have made 3? I vaguely remember. What's the one with all girls? Is that the second one or the third one? I think it's the
second.
It's the second one. So what's the third one about?
I've never seen the third. I have it though. I just never seen it.
I got to check it out again. I don't know. Emmanuel Rojas says I was in 5th grade when Cabin Fever came out. Yeah, he's a young dude. What's up, Emmanuel? Shah, where would you put the franchise there? Does it stand up still?
In comparison to like torture porn movies, or just
in comparison to mainstream? Now there's a lot more successful R-rated type horror. I mean, we've seen some hard R shit. Whether it's Ari Aster's crazy shit, Terrifier's crazy shit. Do you think Hostel was sort of the precursor to keep hard R in horror?
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that and Saw, but I actually prefer the Hostel movies over Saw.
Oh yeah.
They're not nearly as clever or anything, but it's just more brutal and just gross. Like it's more uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Seeing these like fucking rich, like disgusting German dentists and billionaires just torturing people, paying for it. Like I don't know. It reminds me of like the Red Room theories on like the dark web. How this is like a real thing.
That's what this was all inspired by. It was inspired by
Yeah, like that makes it creepy because I'm like, oh shit, does this like happen? Like is this a thing? Like, you know what I mean?
It might be.
Whereas like Saw, it's like clearly a horror movie. You can take yourself out of it. Like there's fucking puppets,
Kevco TV said, I just saw Thanksgiving. Bloody fun. Well, there you go. Bisha, what do you think of the franchise? Does it hold up still? Do you think it had its moment? Will we get another hard R torture porn franchise in theaters?
I don't think so. I think that moment's passed. I think it's kind of bled into other movies. It's almost like some of the movies that came out in the 80s where like you have a one-shot movie, it's kind of cool, but then it gets absorbed by everything else.
Yeah.
So with Hostel, I think it got run the fuck over by Saw because Saw had more staying power and
Yeah.
it connected more because it was more creative and stuff as far as the twists and turns. But I think Saw was a one note. It was like, okay, here's these rich people, they do this, and at the time, again,
Hostile.
not to keep like Hostile, sorry,
Yeah.
not to keep sucking the dick in 9/11, but at the same time, like during that time period, there was a huge fear of like foreigners and like he tapped into so much of the zeitgeist which was going on, which I think he deserves a lot of credit for.
Yeah.
But the concept itself kind of ran itself thin, whereas Saw had more staying power, and I think he kind of got left in the dust. So I would say as a franchise, no, I couldn't see this coming back because films like Terrifier are already doing horrific stuff in their movies anyway.
Yeah.
So I think in a franchise where the big draw was, oh my God, look how crazy this is. I don't know, like a stunt movie. I don't see it with staying power,
Yeah.
and I don't rank it high.
Well,
as far as the
let's
franchise
see
goes.
how. I don't want Kevco to talk too much about the movie because he just saw it and no one's seen it yet. But let's see how hard R this is. I'm curious to see. He's not a guy who shies away from gore, from like fucked up gore. So I expect this to be a gore fest. I won't be disappointed if it's not, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'll definitely have a report for you guys next week. But I want to bring this up. I really don't want to spend a lot of time on this because I just feel like it's already kind of out in the ether. But I actually got a lot of flack for this movie this week, which is odd. Most of it came from people who didn't see it. So I did decide to go see the Marvels last week. I saw it on Saturday, and I did not like it. I didn't like it because of the plot. I just want to put that out there. I didn't have a problem with Brie Larson at all. Brie Larson looks real good in this movie. I thought that some of the choices the director made were pretty good and pretty cool. The girl who plays Kamala Khan, the Muslim Miss Marvel, I didn't watch her show, but I love that character from the comics. And I like the girl who plays Monica Rambeau. Sam Jackson's in it. It's just a bad story. It's a weak villain. There's an unforgivable dance sequence in there that is just I don't even know how this is real. It's just it's not good. That's it. The special effects look pretty good, but the plot overall is weak. But it is Marvel's first real like underperforming film. Like it's a bomb. As far as the box office goes. B-Show, can we pull up the box office? I don't want to misquote here.
Yeah, I've got
the movie only came out on the weekend.
I've got it right here. It says from NPR, the Marvels earned just 47 million in its opening.
That was opening weekend. It's a $225 million film. I don't know where it's at now. Can we look at like current box office? I just want to see total. Yeah, here we go.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, is anything today?
It's pretty fucking buried. So give me a sec.
Well, yeah, I mean, so it's also it's becoming very controversial, the movie, because apparently there's a lot of discussion that people wanted this to fail because they don't like Brie Larson, or they think the Marvel storylines are too diverse and not interesting. The movie is not, I hate using this word, I always have to say this, it's not woke at all. I don't get that from the film. It's weak. I think the problem is people are so gassed on defending the movie or attacking the movie that no one's talking about how weak it is as far as a story. It's a weak story. A $225 million movie can't have a $44 million opening. Shah, you've been waiting for this for 15 years, and it's finally happening. It must feel good knowing that Marvel is flopping now, actually bombing.
I mean, I don't see them slowing down, to be honest with you. It doesn't feel too good. I think they're gonna have to take quite a few L's for them to slow it down. But it's just the oversaturation, man. It's just kind of tired of it. Every other week, I feel like whether it's Marvel or not, something on that scale. Transformers, DC. There's some shit's coming out. That I'm not necessarily interested in. So I just want more fucking actual cinema, just like not this like copy and paste fucking CGI bullshit. Like I don't know. After we've seen stuff like, what Martin Scorsese put out and just so many great movies that are even still coming out this year, that's what I want to see in the theaters. And again, I'm not shitting on, I'm not saying never make them again, put them out seasonally, put out one or two a year maybe, Or put 2 on Netflix or Disney or whatever, and put 2 in theaters, do them quarterly. But I just feel like there's just so much of it, man. It's just too much. You go to Target, every single toy is Marvel. There's Funko Pops falling off the ceiling that are it makes me want to throw up. It's just everywhere.
Yeah.
It's all too much.
B-Show, now you have a young daughter. A semi-famous author tried to take me to task saying that the reason I didn't like it is because I'm not a young girl. But the young girls in my life that I am a parent to have no interest in this film. B-Show, you have a young daughter. Does your daughter have any interest in this movie?
Zero.
Okay.
Zero. And you know what? I'm going to paraphrase
she's a
Bill.
racist, then. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and
it's sexist. She's a misogynist.
Sexist. Yeah, she's a misogynist. My daughter's a misogynist.
Your daughter in grade school's a misogynist. Okay.
Yeah, she's anyway. I'm gonna use Bill Burr's logic about the WNBA. I'm ready for women to start taking responsibility for these movies bombing, because last I checked, it's guys going to see these movies and saying they're not good, and women ain't showing up. So
No.
I'm sick of hearing these movies don't do well because men are misogynistic. Really, hey, they're just not good, and there's nothing that makes people want to go see the movies.
It's weak. It seemed very amateurish to me. I will say this. I'm just trying to be diplomatic here, because I think I found it odd that people got upset when I said The Flash was a better movie. Which Flash is far from a perfect movie. It is a better movie. I enjoyed the movie more. There's things about The Flash that are terrible, and there's things about the Marvels that are terrible. Both of them are grossly underperforming movies that came out this year that are comic films. So that's why I compare the two. Now, here's an interesting fact. So people talk about the comic book hangover. The Loki TV series, the final episode, which, by the way, Shah, was directed by Benson and Moorhead. They're already in the Marvel Universe directing. So we like those guys a lot. We talk about them on the show quite a bit. Set a record for downloads. In 48 hours, 11 million people downloaded the season finale of Loki. Why, you might ask? Because it was very good. Because it was good. It was engaging. It was interesting. It wasn't great, but it was good. It was better. So people watched it. I think these movies they can't rest on their laurels anymore. You just can't slap an MCU sticker on it and then call people names if they don't like it. It looks like they are shaking the tree a little bit for the upcoming projects with Marvel. I don't know. I doubt you'll see another Miss Marvel movie. I doubt it. I honestly, and mercifully, I don't think it was that good. The previous movie was a lot better. And it wasn't great either. But I did want to bring up, I did find it odd that people are upset when you say the movie isn't good, and these people who are upset haven't actually seen the movie. They're just upset that you don't like it. The strategy of telling people that you're terrible if you don't like it is not working. You can't shame a box office. Marvel just needs to do a better job, I think, with their scripts. I will say this, shot, it was very short for a Marvel movie. It was like an hour and 45. Can you believe that?
Yeah, that is pretty short for them. Because the standard now for any movie, I think, is like 2 hours. Like, I barely ever see hour-and-a-half movies.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris Matthews says Miss Marvel is fun. Yeah, I mean, I didn't enjoy it. I don't know. I wanted it to be better. Slave Cheeks, shout out to Slave Cheeks. BioGeek said The Flash is better. It is. The thing that sucked about The Flash was the terrible CG was awful. And people think Ezra Miller is a despicable human being. So I just think it's weird when you attack somebody as a racist and a misogynist for not liking a movie that you didn't see. I don't know. It's odd to me. There wasn't a lot of people at the movie theater. Somebody tried to take me to task and said Saturday at noon isn't a busy time at the movies. Have you ever tried to see B-Show like a popular Disney movie Saturday at noon?
Yeah, we saw Frozen 2, and it was packed front to back, side to side. Star Wars,
Endgame, yeah, blockbuster, like big film. Try going to see Barbie at noon on a Saturday, and let me know how that worked out for you.
Whoever took my kid had to get tickets like 6 weeks in advance because they were all sold out.
Yeah, because women were engaged in that and wanted to see it, But I think it's probably going to do a little bit at this weekend at the box office. You know what I mean? But I think Marvel needs to put better movies out. They're doing good with the TV shows generally, with a couple of misses there. But I think it's, if you want to get that kind of audience again, they shit the bed with Guardians. It's over. It did almost $1 billion, but it's over. James Gunn is gone. Most of that cast is gone. We're not going to see that again. All the principal people are gone that really drove that. But yeah, I wouldn't. I unless the kids are home, if they want me to take them to see it, I'll see it again. But I just wanted to just get that off my chest, because it was remarkable. Like, people got very upset, Shah, when I said The Flash was a better movie. And these were people that didn't see like the movie. Like, I mean, it's just, have you ever defended a movie you never saw publicly?
Not that I can recall. That'd be kind of delusional. I don't know how you would do that.
It's very odd. Yeah, it's an odd
Now,
thing to do.
The Flash is DC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
and
it did not do
CGI?
well. Yeah, it did poor. It did very poor at the box office. But again, Ezra Miller was public enemy number one.
That's what I don't understand. When you tell me like these Marvel and DC films have bad CGI, like, and
Well,
from
I
my
can tell you what
understanding,
that is. I don't know if you guys are familiar with why that is now. What's going on?
what they outsource it to the cheapest bidder, from my understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like, when you're taking that route as a huge fucking franchise.
They didn't
like,
used to do it.
yeah,
but
but that's why they deserve the lash, you know?
Yeah,
They
the
deserve
budgets
that.
became too expensive for the location shoots, so they had to supplement that money by just hiring the cheapest people to finish. When I say the CG is farmed out, basically there's different levels of the CG. So there's like the basic, it's like a layer, right? It's like a layer cake, and then the final pieces are outsourced, and they basically, people put bids in, and they hire exclusively now the cheapest bids. Did you know that, B-Show? That's why the CG quality has gone down for these films.
That, and people who worked on, I think it was She-Hulk, on the sly, spoke to some of the YouTubers, the personalities out there that talk about Marvel. And they said part of the reason too is because they get the assignments, and then there's so many changes throughout the series of the course of the series filming, that it's not just that they have to farm it out because it's too expensive. It's because they'll get started on things, and then like last minute, it's almost like, all right, now we got to work like 24 hours straight to get this done.
Yeah,
because
people working.
because the executives are meddling and changing the story and doing all sorts of different stuff. Yeah,
right. They're doing script. Yeah, Shah, like they're basically changing the story, and these guys just worked like 36 hours straight, and they're like, listen, you got to cut it differently, and now we got to do another 12 hours. There were people like during the strike that were saying that CG people were working days, sometimes days, with very little breaks for very little money, just because they want to put that on their reel. They want that, like I'm sure, Shah, if somebody very expensive came to you and said, hey, I want you to draw a movie poster, but I'm only going to give you like $500, and you're like, well, probably should give me more than that, but I guess I want to be on a movie poster, so I'll do it for $500. You know, like how is you as an artist, how are you going to turn that down if it's a mainstream film, even though you're not getting paid what you should be getting paid? But the idea is you'll be able to tell people this forever and say, hey, look, I did that movie poster. That was me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in positions like that before with wrestling, where I got underpaid just to get my name on something. You know,
there you go.
Starcast is an example of one. I did
the first Starcast.
No, it wasn't the first one. It was the one. It was the last one, actually. The one in Baltimore, whichever one that was.
They do one.
They
still do.
I did everything for that show. I did their magazines, their brochures, all their exclusive posters for the event. Everything. Yeah. That shit was like weeks of work. And Conrad did pay me money. Like, he did pay me. Like, but if I were to have charged what I think I should have been paid, it probably would have been double what I got paid.
Right. But you wanted. I thought it'd be good for you to put your name on it. So that's part of it.
What does that remind you of, though? Them ripping everything up last minute and switching it. That sounds like Vince McMahon on a Monday Night Raw, where he would like throw 50 pits. Yeah. It's like the same
wrestling
shit.
Wrestling has taken over
the product. The product declines because it's last minute. Everybody's just trying to do their best, and the product comes out dog shit. That's what happens.
Well, let's see how it does this weekend again. But yeah, the amount of like headaches I got over this, I had to just abandon it. I just didn't have the time or the energy to go on. But there's a couple of things we want to get to here real quick. First and foremost, I did not listen to The Rock on Joe Rogan. I did not hear it. I only heard clips. I have not listened to Joe Rogan in a very long time. I just don't listen that often anymore. There's a lot of those shows I like more. But The Rock was on Joe Rogan, and which is fascinating to me because I still remember Joe Rogan showing pictures of him on his show talking about how The Rock is on steroids and laughing, like audibly laughing. I don't know if either one of you guys remember that when The Rock was denying that he was on steroids. Did you ever see that, B-Show?
Yeah, they were talking about the Liver King, and someone's like, "Oh, Dwayne Johnson says he's clean," and Rogan almost wanted like a mini tirade about like no one in their 50s gets that much better looking and blah blah blah. And now he's like, "Oh, hey, so Rock, how's that
Yeah.
movie going?"
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Have either one of you guys heard it? Shah, did you know that The Rock went on Rogan?
No, I've avoided Rogan for a long time. I overdosed on Rogan, man. That guy, it's just too much. Nothing against the guy.
I go back, look, when good people are on, I listen, but I don't listen as a regular listener anymore. It's been a very long time.
Yeah.
But one of the more fascinating things on the show was The Rock's inference that before he blew up as WWE superstar, which he's probably easily on the Mount Rushmore of WWE superstars, that he contemplated going into MMA. I have to say, I don't believe a minute of this, and we cannot play the clip. We would encourage you to listen to it on your own. It's all over the place. B-Show, did you listen to the clip?
I did. He pretty much, I don't believe it either. I'm not saying it's not possible, but he said in 97, he was making like 100 grand a year, wrestling 300 days a year. And he was seeing guys going to Strikeforce and Pride and making all this money. And then he talked to Ken Shamrock about it. I think that's as far as I got. And I was like, fuck this. So is it possible that during that time, The Rock, who wanted to be a pro football player and felt like he wasn't going to make it and the fans hated him, maybe did he think he was going to take the Bob Sapp route, this former football player who went to go fight? Maybe, but I don't believe it either. Cause like The Rock had the French connection going for him with fucking Patterson over there, who was a fan of his.
And he's also a legacy. He's a third generation. They love that shit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is Patterson and Rocky Johnson got together, not physically. They got together.
Well, we don't know, but
I'm not going to make that accusation.
Probably not.
I'm just going to say Rock had a lot going for him, and anybody else in that position in 1997 who had that vehement a reaction against him probably wouldn't have lasted as long as he did and got those opportunities. No matter what that is, whether they just liked him or because of connections or whatever. So I don't believe The Rock was going to go to MMA. I don't.
Yeah. So just to put this in perspective for people that didn't hear it, and again, we can't play the clip. The Rock said he was close to signing with Pride Fighting, which was, like UFC. It was actually a lot hard. It was a pretty hardcore UFC style fight. It was in a wrestling, like a boxing ring, and guys wore sneakers and shit. Pride was unbelievable. UFC ended up buying it. It folded. There's a big story behind Pride. You should check it out. So this is The Rock in his own words on Rogan, saying that he was close to signing with Pride back in 1997 and transitioning from wrestling when he wasn't so famous into MMA. Here's the problem with that, guys. The first Pride event was in 1997. Ken Shamrock, which The Rock is mentioning here, had his first Pride fight in 2000. Fedor had his first Pride fight in 2002.
I remember Ken Shamrock and Vader had a fight, I think, in Pride.
Not Vader.
Look it up.
Was it UWFI?
Maybe something.
Yeah,
it was something in Japan. They did some like fake MMA shit.
Well, at the very least, The Rock got his years very confused because there was no way Ken Shamrock didn't fight until Pride until 2000. And by 2000, guys, if we're all on the same page here, the Attitude Era was in full swing. Nobody was. So either The Rock is making it up or nobody G-checked his years there. Now, also, he's talking to a fight cage commentator for 25 years. Now, I get it. Listen, Rogan might be a famous guy and a very wealthy guy, but compared to The Rock, he's like a pimple on The Rock's ass in the public sphere. I think Rogan had to know that The Rock was not being very honest here when he was talking about these dates and Fedor, because Rogan is an MMA historian and a guy who fought and a cage commentator for the biggest cage fighting company in the free earth for 20-something years. He's been doing this. I don't know, Shah. Do you think The Rock is lying, or do you think he just got his dates wrong, or do you think maybe this is real? I just don't believe it.
Yeah, I don't believe it for 1 second. I think he just didn't have enough common ground with Joe Rogan, and he was just trying to find things to kind of relate with them on. And MMA just seemed like, the natural way to go. But this sounds like one of those like Hulkamania joining Metallica stories, Like
Yeah, everybody said
yeah.
this is like Hogan.
Yeah.
Kevin Castle saying The Rock was never mentioned MMA and wrestling ever until this interview.
Yeah. I've never heard him mention anything.
I read his
And like Chris
autobiography.
Matthews, like if he had gone to Pride, he would have gotten killed. Watch Mark Kerr fight in Pride, guys. Watch
Dude.
Mark Coleman in Pride.
How many 3-4 hour documentaries has WWE done on The Rock? When has MMA ever been brought up?
He had
ever?
a Times bestseller. There's nothing to mention of MMA.
Yeah,
That's what I was going to say. I read that back in the day, and it was nothing ever about it. He was always driven to succeed because he had to do it, and I don't know. And see, that's one reason I think people don't like Rogan is because they sniff out how fake he can be. Because like the second someone comes on his show and says some things he thinks is bullshit, he will throw it back at him, especially when it comes to MMA. Someone tried to say someone wasn't a good boxer, and he went like straight for their throat. Like, I know boxing and I'm a historian.
Well,
blah,
he
blah,
also
blah.
has maybe one of the 4 or 5 most famous living people on the planet Earth sitting in front of him.
I'm not saying he has to be a dick about it, but he's done even the passive aggressive thing before where he was like, oh yeah, what year was that? Hey, Jamie, what year? Strike Force. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was
our buddy,
ways he could have
Marquise
done that,
Johns, who is a boxing analyst and journalist, said Bob Sapp versus The Rock. Sign me up. Like, if you guys never had a chance, watch old Pride footage. There was this fight. I think Don Fry, it might have been Sakuraba. They are beating they are just punching the fucking death out of each
horror
other.
movie.
Yeah, it's like a you've seen that, Shah?
Oh yeah, that's fucking brutal, dude.
It's like death match. It's like
it's
harder
worse.
than
it's worse.
It's harder than UFC.
Their eyes are completely closed the minute into the.
They're just punching each other in the face like this. Like and the Rock
literally
guys,
like 8 minutes.
Remember, he was not. He was in amazing shape. He was not in this kind of shape, even at 51 years old. Fry Takayama. It might have been. There was a Don Fry fight that
it was Takayama. Yeah. That's what it was.
They just punched each other in the face like robots.
Yeah. Gigantic blonde.
Well,
Japanese
their eyes,
dude.
right, Shot. Their eyes were closing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takayama, he used to do the Noah Pro Wrestling Noah a lot, I think, until he.
Didn't Misawa fight too? And
I'm sure. Yeah, well, Misawa owned it, I think.
Yeah, I don't
he
know.
Was the
Pride
owner
was
of
amazing. Pride was scary. Like Bob Sapp looked like he was like out of a Hulk comic book, and I seen Bob Sapp get the shit kicked out of him in Pride.
Dude, I just searched it up. I had no idea Don Fry and Ken Shamrock fought in Pride. I had no idea.
Oh yeah.
And Vader versus Don Fry. What the fuck? When was that?
It's all Japan, dude.
Because I remember someone promoted UWFI, which was like a crossover between MMA and wrestling.
Yeah.
And I think some of it
was it work though, Bisha? Was it a work?
I was going to say, yeah, some of it was legit, but some of it was worked. And I think Vader, if you watch the matches, you can tell some of the Vader ones were worked. And
yeah, I forget what was the Ken Shamrock one that was a work that he still pretends like it was real. Someone's going to check me in the chat there. That
was it Sakuraba?
Yeah, it was Sakuraba fought there too, but what was Pancrase? Pancrase, I think, was a work, but I don't believe. Look, I love The Rock as much as everybody loves The Rock. I don't believe any of this. I think this is utter bullshit. I think this is Hollywood Hulk Hogan tales. This is just another made-up story by somebody who's very famous who will not get checked. I'm shocked that other people, like fighters, did not. But also The Rock Shah is so loved by people. Like, I don't think people want to call him a liar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'll forget about it in a week, man. I don't think people are too worried about that. On a side note, I went down a rabbit hole here. I didn't realize Bam Bam Bigelow did MMA too. He got the shit kicked out of him. Oh yeah, he got the shit kicked out of him.
Well, Batista got the shit kicked out of him in MMA too.
Yeah, but Batista, like, I don't know, man. Bam Bam looks like a. I never thought anybody would kill Bam Bam in real life.
Bam Bam looks like he would be in a tough guy competition. That is not the same thing, right?
Yeah.
That guy's like, right, Bisha, like if you told me Bam Bam maybe did some bare knuckle shit, I'd be like, okay, I can see that. Bam Bam in like a Pride ring with Don Fry.
Yeah, he got his shit wrecked, dude. he got shit pushed. He tapped out. Yeah.
Don Fry was a fucking man, dude.
Oh,
I mean,
he was
just
a
a man
monster. He was a
amongst men.
monster.
Just yeah. And he does a
TV is saying Chael Sonnen said claims Pride was work. I don't
I
believe
don't know.
that.
Chael says a lot though. I don't know.
I thought Pride was like half worked, wasn't it? Like they like kicked the shit out of each other, but it was determined who's going to win.
Maybe the outcome
Yeah,
is predetermined, but you really
that's
beat
what I
each other
thought it
up.
was.
That's terrible.
Well, it's kind of what they do in wrestling, except just on a
protect each
lighter
other.
note.
Your job, your primary focus is to protect the other person.
Yeah, but you still hurt each other, though. I mean, every single one of those.
Shah,
bumps
look at that Don Fry
hurts.
Takayama. You tell me that's fake. Like, tell me what's fake.
No, that's that they went in, I think, to prove a point, man. They that's like the man's match of all time.
Yeah, getting kicked by Crow Cop. You're gonna. How do you? Like, are you out of your mind? You couldn't pay me anything. Have you ever seen Crow Cop kick somebody in the face? What was it? Right leg ambulance, left leg hospital. No, right leg hospital, left leg hospital, right leg cemetery. That's what he used to tell people.
Something like that, yeah. There was also a fight where Bob Sapp was kind of getting his ass kicked by this little Japanese dude, and he runs up and just starts like lifting himself up in the corner on the ropes and stomping on the guy's fucking head.
Oh,
and the guy doesn't give up. He just gets back up and they start fighting again. It's like, holy shit.
I don't believe. I love The Rock. I think it's fake. I think he's wishing on a star. I also heard on a political podcast that there was a snap poll about, there's always this rumor about him getting into office, and people had asked would they vote for him or Joe Biden, and more people. He was at 46%. He beat people that said that because The Rock would run as a Democrat, and they said they would vote if he was to run today. He would be beating Joe Biden as a Democrat. Now, Bisho, do you think that's just polite people being polite? Like, again, because a lot of people love this guy. I mean, very rarely. He's had some missteps the last year or two, but generally he's, his reputation is pretty solid.
I don't know if he's starting to test the waters or chinks are starting to appear in the armor or what's going on. I honestly think, dude, it's a popularity contest. If he came out, it would be like Oprah running like 15 years ago. People would just vote for him because they know him and they like him and he seems like a likable dude. But he kind of ate his ass on that Hawaii wildfire thing. That backfired on him pretty good.
And the Black Adam movie with Warner Brothers, that was a bad look for him last year.
Yeah, that was a bad look. But at the same time, like they were trying to get the rich people, billionaires, trying to get regular people to donate to the fund that can write off the donations. You know what I mean? It just, and plus Oprah had ties to the land there and like fortified her shit.
There's some shadiness there. There was some shadiness.
Yeah, so I think that could come back to haunt him, but he's just one of those guys that seems Teflon, and there's not a whole lot about him said that's bad, really. I mean,
he could be president. I think honestly, look, I'm not trying to be a dick. I think he could be the president. I really do. I think he could. I think he could be the president. Shah, do you think he could legitimately be the president?
At this point, yeah, dude. I think anybody can become the president if you're a celebrity.
I think anybody. I think Don Fry should be president. The more I'm thinking about it,
we have like a fragile country right now where everybody's hurt, pretty much on one side or the other, and everybody's looking for hope. So if you can sell yourself, and you can sell yourself, like I mean, dude, Rock like was one of the best promo guys of all time. Are you fucking kidding me?
Can you imagine the Rock's speeches?
You put this guy, you put this guy up there. He's gonna sell himself to everyone.
How about him and Trump debating against each other?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Incredible.
That'd be the fucking best thing ever.
Yeah. So we'll see. Look, I don't know. I mean, I look if MMA people don't G-check him, I don't think it's because he's telling the truth. I think it's because he's too famous and it looks petty. Like, but I would be shocked if he did get his card pulled in the next couple of days by people that were in Pride being like, this dude is out of his fucking mind. Like nobody, there's no chance. No one would go and do that. And they didn't make a lot of money there either, Pride. But let's, I think, like Chris Matthews said, I'd vote for Don Fry's mustache alone. I think should run for president.
Yeah, and that
voice, campaign slogan should just be a T-shirt with the mustache on it. 2024.
Yeah, it's funny because like if you saw Don Fry's just head, you'd be like, oh, look at that stupid mustache. And then like when he makes you cry, repeatedly by punching you in the fucking face and throwing you around like a doll.
He was like a more badass version of like Ravishing Rick Rude. They look the same kind of.
He kind of looked like a Wyatt Earp or something like that. Like he looked like a jacked up cowboy. Like, you know what I mean? But I think The Rock's full of shit. But speaking of full of shit, I wanted to talk about this on the air because it's making its rounds, and I have very mixed feelings about this story. So earlier in the week, a friend of Will Smith's went on a podcast because there's just nothing but podcasts anymore. I don't remember this person's name. It was a friend of his. I think his first name is Belial, not unlike Martin Lawrence in the House Party movies. Um, Went on a podcast and inferred that Will Smith and I guess what was that guy Dwayne? Do you know the name of the guy, Shah? The guy that they said he was with?
Dwayne something. I don't know the last name.
Can we pull it up, B-Show, but not the clip, obviously, but just the printed story. So this
Dwayne
guy,
Martin.
Dwayne Martin. I don't know who Dwayne Martin is either, but I guess he's an actor friend of Will Smith. But the guy who is alleging this, and again, this is alleged, made the rounds talking about Will Smith because Jada Pinkett Smith's book is out and it's a little controversial and it's obviously not doing very well. He inferred that he walked in on Will Smith, his words, not mine, people, bent over a couch, getting straight murdered, I think was the term he used, just killing him from the back, having anal sex. This guy's name is Brother Belial. He's a former assistant and close friend to Will Smith. Boy, what a good friend. Yeah. And he was inferring that Will Smith, who has always been some rumors about his sexuality, along with his wife or ex-wife, Jada Pinkett Smith's sexuality for years and years and years. But this was very descriptive. Like he basically said he saw it. Like he walked in and saw Will Smith getting his shit pushed in. Shah, what was your thoughts when you heard about this? I'm sure you heard about this. We've all heard about this.
I don't know, man. Big Willie went anal, allegedly.
Big Willie style was something very different to him.
I don't know, man. I just hope Jada Pinkett Smith just shuts the fuck up and doesn't come out about some other rumors about him now, because I have a feeling you give her 24 hours, she's going to be making the headlines about, oh, my husband, I always had, doubts about him. And because there's a lot of clips, man. I saw a clip of him today, like grabbing like Carlton's like balls, like he kept trying to grab his ball sack.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of weird, suspect stuff out there with Will Smith. So I'm sure a compilation is coming soon.
He's not having a good couple of years, that's for sure. Tail punches, Q, Peter Griffin, Cowboy, butt sex.
I like the eye anal.
Eye anal.
Guys, drop your best.
Getting anal with it.
Title.
Oof. Men in Me. That could be Will Smith's movie instead of Men in Black. B-Show, your thoughts when you heard that Big Will was getting killed from the back?
I wasn't surprised because, like you, I've heard that for a while, but it also made me laugh.
Not like this. Nobody's heard that.
I think Bert Kreischer was on some podcast a while back telling a story about how when he was a young comedian, Will Smith invited him out to go to dinner in a movie, and like he told his dad, "I think Will Smith's trying to fuck me."
Wow.
And felt like an idiot because when he showed up, it was like Will and like 6 of his friends, like Biz Markie was there and stuff, and they were just hanging out.
So like people hanging out.
Yeah, and he felt like an asshole. But now this is a new twist on this fucking saga.
He felt like an asshole. Hi-oh. Kevin Castle said the guy who was giving it to him was in the movie Above the Rim Job. Men in the back. We got a lot of butt boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when he puts it in you?
I really hope just Will Smith like finds peace before this guy does something.
Listen, can I say something? I'm just gonna be honest.
It's been rough.
Okay? I always found him to be almost like a Morrissey in like an asexual way. Like Morrissey, like I like
David Bowie, Morrissey.
Yeah. But David Bowie, David Bowie, I think was just fucking anything and everybody at one point in his life. But Will Smith, when he would sing about girls, I'm just being frank, and I don't dislike Will Smith at all. I love Will Smith, actually. He seems like prior to what happened with Chris Rock, Will Smith was probably seemed like one of the genuine nice people. Like he just said, his kids are fucking weirdos, but he seems like, and his wife is a fucking weirdo. But I mean, it's Will Smith, dude. Like, come on, it's Will Smith, he's so nice. But I've always found his, like, when he's singing about girl, like, I don't know, like, it just seemed like fake. Like, I don't know, like I would have believed he was rather than anything else, like asexual. Like he just wasn't very interested in sexuality. Now, I will say this. I think the time, if this is true, there has never been a time in our society for someone to come out as, gay or bi or anything like that. that is a known sort of like, a heterosexual star, whether it's a male or female. That being said, and this is just my opinion, the fact that that he is catching and not pitching, I think is the issue for people. I think I'm dead serious. I think Will Smith is like a 6'3", good looking, in shape, ultra famous, successful, like icon, American icon. And I think people aren't ready to think about him getting bent over and getting murdered from behind, Shah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, I just think that's what it is. I think if it's Will Smith, pitching instead of catching, I think it's a different vibe for a lot of people. I think it's the fact that he is receiving that might be the thing that prevents like people from processing this, because this dude, and look, I don't know this Brother Belial guy. He could just be fucking around and get money. And then more than likely he is. But let's say he isn't. Now every image you're going to have of Will Smith is him bent over a sofa. You know what I'm saying, Shah?
Yeah, this chat is on fire right now. With,
people are losing
roasting
chat.
section.
This is the greatest chat we've ever had.
Fucking roasting this guy. I feel bad for Will Smith, man. He's been the meme of the world for the last like 5 years. I feel like
this is very different though. What's going on?
Yeah, but this is just adding to the fuel.
Are you? Let me ask you a question.
No, I'm not gay.
You don't want to believe, or if you found out this is totally true, boy, people are blowing this chat up. I can't do.
I can't even concentrate. Dude.
I can't.
Sodomy of the state. Should we read them off? Should we just read them off in case people are listening?
You read them off.
We'll have the title of the show. We'll pick one of these out.
Yeah, right. The best one is going to be the title, "The Legend of Sucker Vance." I like it.
So, Sodomy of the State, the French Prince of Balls and Ass. His parents just didn't understand. Legend of Sucker Vance. After Girth. I like that one. After Girth. Let's see. Pursuit of Hap-Penis. 7
That's
rounds.
My favorite one. The Hap-Penis.
Hap-Penis.
I was gonna say Men in Back, but Joe Punches stole that one.
Yeah, Men in Back is good.
The Pursuit of Hap-Penis.
Above the Rim Job from Kevin Castle.
Above the Rim Job is pretty good too.
Yeah.
There's probably a movie called Above the Rim Job.
I don't know.
Are you prepared to live in a world where Will Smith is just getting killed from behind?
That doesn't matter to me, man. I get it.
I'm not saying to you. I'm saying, but do you think that? But let me ask. But okay, that's an unfair question. When I ask you. I'm saying that there has never been a safer time in any time in recorded history for someone to say, I'm gay. I've always been gay. I lied because I was concerned about my career. But, I feel it's important now to come out. Will Smith would be the most famous gay person for the next 1,000 years. He would be the most famous gay person. He would be untouchable. They would name streets after him in gay neighborhoods. It would be like you'd get the Will Smith Award. Like he would be profoundly the most iconic gay person beyond reach. You know what I'm saying? But he also doesn't need to be that because he's already that in show business. You know what I'm saying? So it's a paradox to me. Like, I think it's fine if that's who he is, and it would suck that he has to lie about it to keep a career. But I also feel like the impact that would have on people that here is this guy was a sex star. He was like a sex icon to people. He was like, women love Will Smith. Everyone loves Will Smith. How powerful a message would that be? It's like, hey, man, I'm gay. My marriage is a sham. We did it for Hollywood. This isn't how I wanted to go out in the business, but you know what? I'm 50 years old. I'm worth $500 million. People already are mad at me about that. Would put this Chris Rock thing to bed in 2 seconds.
Digital Lizard explains why he slapped instead of punched Chris Rock.
That does make sense.
Yeah, you know what? To me, it doesn't matter. Maybe it's just, I'm not saying it is true at all.
Right.
If it is, there's a lot of old school dudes that they won't admit that shit.
A lot of people will not let that go.
And it's not that he thinks there's anything wrong with anybody else, but maybe, because like, did he really come up from the streets or was that fabricated?
Shah lived where he lived. I mean, his reputation is his reputation.
So that's what I'm saying. Here's this guy who from the streets, bad neighborhood, self-made, obviously had a lot of help getting there, but like was a very talented guy.
Yeah, Quincy
who
Jones
broke a lot of barriers.
Quincy Jones discovered him, and he's a PG rapper, like he's He's an icon, dude. He's an icon. This dude is an icon guy. I almost feel like also that the fact that if he is that and he's still hiding it makes me really sad. Like that, honestly, that makes me fucking sad because I nobody should have to live like that and lie like that for decades to have what they have and they've earned. That fucks me up. I'm sorry, that fucks me up. I'm not cool with that at all. But is it a lie? Probably. Will people always now kind of have that tainted version of him because he's lying? Which is another thing. He's lying. This is fake. That means his whole persona, his records, his movies, his sex appeal, his interest in women. There's rumors that he fucked the shit out of what's her face, Barbie, when they made a movie together.
Margot Robbie, yeah.
Yeah, that he was banging the shit out of her, it's pretty known. Like, I like, it's a paradox to me. I don't want it to be real because it makes me sad if it's real that he has to hide it forever. But if it's real and he's not embracing it, when he could be, you think he's famous now? Oh my God. You would never see that, dude. This guy would be everywhere.
Yeah, but he might not even want that though. He might not want more fame.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to have that. And he's earned the right.
He's had that most of his life. I think at age 50, whatever, he's not trying to be more famous, man.
Yeah, no, I know. But it hurts people that are trying to live a life because it's like, oh, wait, so this maybe possibly one of the most successful, forget about it, maybe one of the most successful Black entertainers of all time. Yeah. So now he's got that burden, right? So it's like, yeah, he doesn't deserve to carry these burdens on himself. But what message does that send to somebody who's maybe in their early 20s in Hollywood, who is gay, who's scared to fucking death, going, well, shit, Will Smith's fucking probably gay. Nobody's fucking, I don't want, he's not coming out. I'm not going to fucking come out.
Do you guys think
to lie about my shit?
Do you guys think that maybe that's why they had an open marriage? Because she wanted to bang other guys and he could kind of do his thing?
Possibly. Well, she was banging other guys.
I know, but I mean, they were in an open relationship where they could fuck whoever they wanted. But I'm saying, do you think this had something to do with it? Maybe.
Probably. I mean, God, honestly, I don't know.
Or even the fact that it didn't bother him as much that she was banging other dudes. Like, you can't be 100% into your woman if it doesn't bother you. That's just, I don't know.
I don't know. It's tricky for me because, like, jokes aside, and we just make a joke. Look, he's a famous guy in the world. Nothing we say can hurt this man, and none of us care. But it's funny that this guy goes on a talk show and literally talks about him getting murdered from behind. It's just a crazy fucking thing to say. But I do think the power of him doing that is so fucking powerful. Like, it's beyond powerful. Like, oh my God, like the whole, like the world would change in a day if he had a press conference and said, yeah, I've been gay my whole life and I've had to hide it and I'm tired of hiding it. Oh my God.
I don't even think that's necessary though. Who's hiding nowadays? It's not like 1990.
Well, apparently he is.
Yeah, but that's because he's already married. Like it's a different.
Well, they're not really married. See, she's blown.
Yeah, but still, he's had dirt on his name the whole time. Last thing he wants is another whole. I think he just wants to stay out of the limelight, man. He's not interested in talking more about his personal life.
Yeah. What was the old Arsenio Hall line when the guy tried to say he was homophobic? He's like, I've had tons of homosexual guests on my show. You'd never know because it's none of your business. I do think there's a lot of people that don't want to be a billboard. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people who don't want to be a billboard, and especially like Shah said, with everything that's happened the past couple of years, he may just not want that responsibility and that type of attention.
But this would wipe I'm not going to lie, though. Let's not lie. This would wipe the slate clean. The Chris Rock thing is going to fucking dog
but dude,
forever.
He's worth $500 million and has been famous most of his life. He doesn't care to.
Shah, he's had projects canceled, though. Because
I don't think he cares. Have you seen Will Smith, man? This man is the unhappiest man I've seen in my life.
I know. It makes me sad.
I don't think he cares about money.
Dude. It makes me sad.
I don't think he's trying to find more money. I think he's trying to find peace, this man. I'm telling you. That's why I'm concerned about this guy, because I can see it going dark.
Me and my brother Mike watched that video. I think we watched that video of Jada fucking with him a little bit, and you could look like he's gonna cry, like it's in their house, like after my brother Mike was like, this is horrifying. And I'm like, yeah, I feel terrible. Like, I don't know. I just feel like he deserves peace. Right. But, there is, like I said, there is that gravity of, there's still a lot of people that this is an issue with. And I think maybe even if he convinces a lot of people to check their biases against people who have to live like this, who don't have the luxury of being him, will go, oh, my life might be a little bit easier because maybe one of the most prolific entertainers in the last 25 years is now out. Like, I don't know, but it's not his job. You know, I just think somebody should shut Jada Pinkett the fuck up.
It's his personal, and you also got to think about, man, he was envisioned by every race and every culture as the nicest guy in Hollywood, right?
Oh my God.
Now he's known as a cuckold meme to the whole world. He went from like the guy that everyone liked and didn't have a bad word to say about. Now everyone's making fun of his personal life. Yeah. I think that's all taking a mental toll on him, and him not wanting to speak about this, whether it's a rumor or if it's true. I don't blame the guy. He's tired of all this shit. He's like, yo, I want to live my fucking life. I don't want to have to explain my wife, my kids to you. I don't want to explain why my kids went trans. I don't want to explain why my wife fucked Tupac and she's still talking about Tupac in 2023. I don't want to talk about what, it's just, I don't know. I can see why he's just tired of this shit. I'm tired of talking about his life. I can see him being tired of talking about it. Like, fuck.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. I mean, look, we probably will never find out. Who we can. But I think we could all agree that Jada is trash. And I wouldn't wish Jada Pinkett on anybody. She is just terrible. Cabby Castle says she's awful.
Dude,
she is just awful.
That meme that says Tupac dodged a bullet and it has a picture of Jada. I'm sorry. That's
Kevco TV just put that.
Kevco just mentioned that.
Oh,
listen,
yeah.
I'm rooting for Will. I could care less about if he pitches, if he catches, if he banged Margot Robbie, if he didn't. Maybe Margot banged him. I don't care. The guys earn peace.
It's not my ass, man. Who cares?
No. Guys earn peace, and the guys earn privacy. But that's some fucked up shit. They say his wife inferred they might sue. Okay. I don't know. Let's see where this story goes. But let's just shift real quick before we go to Patreon. Major announcement here, people. Snoop Dogg has announced today that he has quit weed and that he wants people to respect his privacy at this time.
I thought it was an April Fool's joke, man. I had to check the month. I was like, what, dude? What?
Yeah, I don't know what this is about. But Snoop Dogg, possibly outside of Cheech and Chong, the most famous weed smoker of all time. He's the Will Smith of weed, has announced that he has stopped smoking. Now, maybe he has a health issue. I don't know.
That's what I was wondering. I was wondering maybe he has to stop.
He's not a young guy either. He's 50 years old, probably 50s, maybe. Shah, your thoughts as someone who imbibes?
That was my first thought, was that there's probably some kind of health issue. It just makes no sense, man, especially now that it's been legalized and it's such a big part of the California culture. Like, I don't know. I don't buy it.
You think it's a shtick? I don't think it's a shtick.
I don't think it's a shtick, but I don't buy that it's by will. I think he's forced to quit. There's probably something going on.
He might have a health issue.
Yeah. There's probably something
they said, listen, as Kevin Castle points out, he's 56. And like, listen, he was smoking weed since you were 13. We got a problem. Bisha, what do you think about this? Think it's a health issue?
Yeah, I agree. Because recently they just came out with some studies now that it's been more open. They can do more long-term stuff that it causes like heart disease. And plus, fucking A, like emphysema and shit like that.
Yeah, you're smoking. Yeah, it's smoke in your lungs. It's your lungs.
Yeah. So yeah, and God bless him, man. If he's got to do that to get right, then good for him. And keep on your edibles, man, because we need Snoop Dogg is a national treasure. We've lost a lot of good pop culture people in the last probably 5 years. Let's keep Snoop Dogg around for a while.
Plus, you got to keep in mind, Snoop wasn't a regular smoker. This man would smoke like fucking 40 blunts a day that were fucking, an eighth in each blunt. Like, this man smoked. Sure, he probably didn't smoke cigarettes, but like he probably did just as much damage with as much weed and cigarillos.
Yeah, he probably has some damage to his lungs. That's what I would imagine from smoking for 40 fucking years plus. 56 guys. It's not. I don't know, B-Show, smoking 40 blunts a day at 56. I don't know, man.
Oof. And now how do you operate? Like, I don't get. I know you build up a tolerance, right? I get it.
Yeah, sure.
But at some point, like, how do you even operate? I don't get, like, how do you find your shoes to get out of the house?
Yeah, he's a super successul guy. I mean, he's maintained his celebrity for decades. Like, so many people in his, like in his world have fallen off or been killed right? Or went to prison. And he's out there hanging out with Martha Stewart and doing cartoons and writing kids' songs and coaching football. And it's just like, talk about a guy with nothing to prove. Honestly, I mean, he's got nothing. That dude's got nothing to prove to nobody, right? Nothing.
I like Marquise John, Snoop COPD instead of DOWG.
Slave Cheeks goes Willie Nelson, wimp. Bayou Geeks is like, I'm sure he was doing more than weed. Maybe. Maybe. I mean, look, I'll tell you something. Like I'm on edibles like constantly in my spare time, like in my weekends, but you'll never see me put anything smoke to my lungs. I won't smoke shit. I don't give a fuck. I will not smoke anything. I'll have a couple of cigars a year. I'll have like maybe 3 cigars a year, if that. And that's it. Because I don't fuck with my lungs at this. I'm fucking in my 50s, dude. I'm not fucking. I can't do it. I'll fucking fall to pieces, man. You know what I mean? I just can't do it. But you know, I don't know. I mean, will he be like somebody mentioned Kevin Smith quitting weed, which is, well, we've seen how that's affected his comedy. If you saw Clerks 3, I tried to watch it again the other day. I felt like I was the one having the heart attack. But we wish Snoop the best. Snoop is an icon, just like Will Smith. These are iconic people. These are my age group people. These are people who've been famous your whole life. You've had Will Smith and Snoop Dogg being like these super famous people your entire lives. Like, you're since you were young people. But, you know, we're getting old. You know, we're getting old, guys. That's what it is. Shah, do you see a point in your life? I know you're 20 years younger than Snoop, but do you see a point in your life like, yeah, I'm done with weed. I can't smoke.
Not likely, but I mean, if Snoop quit, I can't say I wouldn't. I think he was a bigger pothead than I am. So you never know.
Yeah. Wait, what if one says in deathbed, John, smoke one for me? Wait, am I in the deathbed, Slave Cheeks? I'm going to be, don't let the beard fool you. I'm going to be around.
I think he says if someone else is dying and requests you smoke one for them.
Dude, if you try, you guys have seen me fucked up. If I smoked the cough, like I would have to go to the hospital. Like I would not be able to take the smoke in my lungs. I would be, talk about that coughing shit. Hell no. I would do a key bump before I would put smoke in my lungs. I do bumps. Oh, someone else? Yeah. I mean, I smoking on somebody's pack. Yeah, maybe. I know that's not what you meant, Slave Cheeks. But listen, we got a bunch of stuff to get to in Patreon. We're going to watch some fun movie trailers. We're going to talk some other shit. But please consider going to patreon.com/breaktheapp. Again, it's just $5. We always give a little mini show there, which we're going to do in a little bit. But before we wrap up, let's get to the pluggertons. We have Deathmatch Outlaws, the Drew Yari Experience, Cassette Classics 86 on YouTube, and the Down Under Thundercast. Don Tony, he's doing shows with Kevin Castle. That's happening. Necromaniacs, congratulations on your anniversary. And many, many more years to come. It might be 10 years. It might be 10 years. The Inhuman Experience podcast. And of course, I'll be returning to the triumphant Ringsiders podcast in a couple of weeks. So keep an eye out for that. Our friends across the pond, Mojo and Dirk's Most Dastardly Show. And of course, the Garden of Doom. And then we have the Old Guy Metalcast. And of course, our good friend Ronald Anderson's clothing line, funkbetty.com. That's funkbetty.com. Go there today. Buy some clothes. You will not regret it. There's wonderful stuff there. MJW Games, and of course, Cherry Jesus on YouTube and his band Kaiser. Please download his album. It's Kaiser. That's Cherry Jesus. Our good buddy Sam at the Red River Podcast. He's killing it with the band Plain Dead. I think a video just came out. God, he's always working so hard, that motherfucker. Love that guy. Bayou Geeks, Fate 316. Love him, of course. The High Marks Podcast. And of course, the Midnight Mass Creature Cast, the Weekly Detour, Anthony Alston and Teddy, and the Guns and Geeks podcast. Shah, the kids are asking me every day. They're like, Papa, what is happening on Planet Mondo?
I'm sorry to disappoint your kids for another week, but not much. But I did commit to doing a monthly physical media magazine. It's called the Physical Media Advocate. It's a magazine. It's an online magazine. And they basically do interviews with physical media companies and directors and shit like that, and announcements as far as what's coming out. And I'm doing the monthly cover for it. So this month, I did the Monster Squad.
Yes, I saw it. It came out fantastic. And where can people buy a print like that, Shah?
It's actually on Amazon. You can buy it on Amazon. So if you just type in Physical Media Advocate, you'll find it. And follow me on Instagram. I'm open to commissions. I've been doing a lot more. So follow me on there at planet.mondo. But as far as YouTube, man, I've been working too much, dude. I honestly just don't have time.
Yeah, all of us.
Do anything.
Yeah, I've been working a little bit myself. And of course, Shah, if anybody wants original artwork and custom artwork for the holidays, where should they go?
Hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on Instagram at planet.mondo. Message me or hit me up on Twitter. Yeah, either one of those. Or email me. You could email me at nuclearheatgraphics.com.
There we go.
Either one
That's
works.
That works. B Show, anything happening? I know you're going to put a solo show together, but is anything happening on the B Show channel?
No, probably not till the end of the year or next year sometime. I've been doing the Dunkin' Donuts guy thing too. So B Show Brian at B Show Brian on YouTube and on social media. bshowpodcast.com, I believe, is still the URL. Go there, subscribe. Got some cool old stuff. I think I mentioned the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, What's in Dell's Trunk video I put up last year. I might put a link up to that soon.
Oh, for the holiday.
Yeah. And then coming up Christmas, I think I did one on Christmas Evil and why I dig it so much. So if you want to go check some seasonal stuff out, go check it out. bshowbrian.com.
And of course, guys, next week, like I said, we're going to get the show out to you probably a little early for the holiday. But have a wonderful and safe weekend. Thanks for checking us out on the free. And we're going over to Patreon right now, so you can check it out if you sign up today. Have a wonderful weekend.
Peace.